Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Friday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. And we do also cover in big Pokemon news, like cards are set to get revealed. And we do have to do the question of the day. So for today's question, what is your least favorite typing in Pokemon? And we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Collectr. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I just recently added a ton of new stuff to my Collectr. And then they also have a super cool social component where you can actually share your collection with your friends and family and make posts. It's actually a blast. And they're always trying to improve by adding new cards, boxes, and features, so let us know down below if there's anything you want them to fix or add. And then they also do more giveaways than anyone in this entire hobby, so make sure you follow them on all their socials. You will not be disappointed. I'll have all the links in the description. And of course, if you're going to grade through PSA for your first time, you can click my link in the description, use the code BEARD25, and you receive $25 off your very first submission, which is basically a free graded card. And then I also just got a tag affiliate. So if you guys want to try tag out, you can click my link in the description. You get 10% off if you use the code BEARD10. So definitely check all that out. All right, let's get into it. We literally have no sealed products coming down in price. It's actually insane. But we're going to be checking out a ton of new stuff because people got perfect order in hands. And then we got the new Ninja Spinner set, which is going to be the exact same set as our Chaos Rising set. But we have the 2026 Pokemon box. This is like the only box that's not going up in price. This thing was at $152, which is insane. And now all last sold $22, $27, $25. So not too bad. I believe it was $15 MSRP. And we have the perfect order ETBs here. We got the regular one at $71. We got two Pokemon Center ETBs at $225. This one says Pokemon Center ETB listed at $113, sale price $80. Another one at $97. Yeah, that one doesn't even say Pokemon Center. We got another regular one here at $61. Pokemon Center at $83. Another one at $71. So you can find some decent deals. Just shoot people offers, especially with this new stuff. A lot of people just want to sell it immediately, but prices are kind of all over the place. But I've seen a bunch of people open up the actual booster box. So we got a sale here at $199, $203, $200, $199. One of the cheapest booster boxes we have gotten in a while. All right, we're jumping to cards already. So here is a bunch of new perfect order cards. Here's the illustration rares. We got the Esper at $12. We got the Rowlet at $13. The Meowth Full Art at $30. Another Rowlet at $20. Got the Double 8 at $10. The Aurorus at $11.75. I cannot wait to get my hands on that card. Raticate, $8. The Clefairy, $50. Another one for $40. Got the Esper at $10. Aurorus at $15. Meowth Full Art again at $25. Got the Meowth Full Art again at $25. Another Clefairy at $40. So Clefairy is the most expensive illustration rare, which I do agree with. I think it is just absolutely beautiful, and Clefairy is pretty popular. But Clefairy has been getting a ton of cards lately. It's kind of wild. Raticate at $10. Rowlet at $14. Dedenne at $13. Got the Mega Starmie Full Art at $30. And we will jump to some special illustrations. We got the Mega Clefable, $97. Got the Mega Zygarde, $195. Got the Trainer Jacinth at $50. The Mega Starmie, which is probably my favorite card on the set for the special illustration rares, $110 and $102. Got the Mega Zygarde again at $350. Clefable at $95. Another Zygarde at $225. Selling for a good amount. Rosa's Encouragement, $165. And here is the Meowth, $200. So right there with the Zygarde. Another one at $186, $300, $299. A ton of these. Wow. Another Mega Clefable at $100. Rosa's Encouragement at $175. Another Meowth at $190. And another Meowth at $300. And that Mega Starmie at $162. And here is the gold Zygardes. We got a sale at $280, $275, $300, $300, $325, $290. And we are jumping to Ninja Spinner. So like I said, this is going to be the exact same set, basically as our Chaos Rising, besides maybe a couple promos. Very small set, just like Perfect Order. I do like this set slightly more than Perfect Order, but we're going to be checking the Japanese prices. It's kind of nice to look at these, because then it kind of tells us what's going to happen with our English cards a little bit. So we got the Chespin. I love that they got the starters in there at $15. Now last sold $650, $890, $7. And the Fennekin, which is going to be our ETB promo, which I'm very excited about. So it's at $14. Last sold $870, $997, and $10. And the Froakie. Now Froakie got the whole lineup in this set. So this was at $16.45. Now last sold $14, $13. So it hasn't dropped much. And the Tauros, I'm very excited for this card. It's just so clean, simple, beautiful. This was at $20. Now last sold 11, 12, 14. And the Ampharos, another one I'm very excited about. Again, just super clean, simple, great card, great Pokemon. What was that, 22? Now last sold 13, 12, 15, and 19. And the Crobat was at $20. We got a sale at 14 and 17. And the Xerneas, this card is beautiful. Mrs. Beard is obsessed. I also think Xerneas is one of the most beautiful Pokemon we've ever gotten. Right up there with Suicune, Ninetales, stuff like that. This is at 24. Now let's sold 22, 21. A couple more at 23. Next, we got the Frogadier. This was at $27. Now last sold 21, 19, and 24. And we got the Mega Floette. This was at 41, and that is literally the only sale that we have on TCG Player so far, which is kind of funny. And we got the Chinchino, which I also think only has one sale at $49.95. Like I said, this set just came out. And we got the AZ's Tranquility. Pretty beautiful card. A lot of detail if you really look into it. And last sold, again, only one, $50. And we got the Mega Greninja EX Full Art. Last sold, we got two sales, 48 and 57. Now for the big dog, we got the actual Mega Greninja EX SIR. With barely any sales, we got one at $319, and I have a feeling it's going to drop pretty quickly. But again, you know, this is a Japanese version. You never know on the English side. It could go crazy because there's a lot of detail if you really look into there. This is a card I think I'm definitely going to have to see in person, and I have a feeling it could grow on me. All right. We can jump to some illustration rares. We got Salazzle from Ascended Heroes. Last sold for this one now, 402, 476, and 368. Next, we got the Galarian Obstagoon from Ascended. This was at $12. Now last sold 6, 5, 3, and 4. Most of them are at 3 and 4. And the Metacham from Ascended was at $19. Now last sold 6, 5, and $4.99. And the Dracloak. So the rest of the illustration rares are legit completely leveled out or going back up in price. This was at $38. Now last sold 17, 16, and 15. And we got the Volcarona from Black Bolt. Pretty sick card. This is at $42. Now last sold 33, 31, and 30. Next, we got the Morpeko. This card was once $57. Now last sold 25, 33. Most of them are all at 25. Next, we have the Psyduck from 151, starting to retrace a little bit. It's got up to $78. Now last sold 59, 65, 45. I mean, retracing a decent amount. Next, we have the Charmeleon from 151. It's got up to $100, and we had a couple crazy sales too, but last sold now 120. But otherwise 86, 90, 78, 103. Let's see what we can get this shipped for right now from a decent seller. So $70 from a brand new seller, but from a legit one with a decent amount of sales. Wow, looks like it's going to be like $85. Next, we have the Squirtle. Same exact thing from 151, was at $142. Now last sold 125, 139, 117, and 107. Next, we have the Charmander from 151. This got up to $160. Now last sold one crazy high one at 197, otherwise 110, 139, 156. Let's see what we can get this one shipped for. $111 down here, 100%, but only 35 sales. Next, we got some SIRs. We got the Goldango EX from Paradox Rift. This was at $32. Now last sold 20, 21, and 22. Next, we have the Iris's Fighting Spirit from Ascended. This is at $125. I still think this is one of the sickest trainer cards we've ever gotten. Now last sold 46, 41, 37, 35. I think it'd be sweet if we actually had a whole lineup of these with like a bunch of super cool trainers with like their top 3 Pokemon like this. Next, we have the Superior EX. This was all the way up at $49. Now last sold 39, 39, 42, and 40. Next, we got the Mega Scrafty Still Fallen. Was at $99. Now last sold 62, 59, 60, and 58. Next, we got the Pheasantipity from Ascended. This was at $160. Now last sold 90, 91, 87, 80, 82, 75. And we got the Enzora Rock from Ascended. This is at $168. We got a sale now at 150, 140, 144, 142. And the Zapdos from 151, retracing, was at 144. Now last sold 123. We got 2 high sales at $175. We got a couple low ones at 81, 83. Could be Japanese because that's crazy low. But the rest of them 137, 120, 115. Next, we got the new Lily's Clefairy from Ascended. This was at 272. Now that sold 183, 150, and 190. And we got the big Blastoise from 151 was at $221. Now last sold 182, 175, 170. Quite the drop. And we have the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX still slowly falling from Ascended. Last sold 282, 275, 276. Next, the Sylveon from Prismatic Evolutions is below $300. Last sold 310, 298, 290, 296. One high sale at 327, 289. And the Charizard from 151 got up to $485. Now last sold 435, 420, 464, 444. Yeah, this happens every single time cards go crazy. You know, they shoot up in price and then they come back down and retrace and kind of level out and find their new spot. But I do not think these cards are going to go back to where they were a month ago. Next, we have the new Mega Gengar from Ascended Heroes. Last sold for this one, 1100, 1075, 985, 925, 1000. So prices are kind of all over the place, but it's good to see some $900 sales in there. And we got the gold Mega Dragonite. Was at 522. Last sale 287, 290, 295. And the gold Mega Charizard Y. I seen both of these the other day. They are pretty nice. They pop. This is at 665. Last sold 439, 415, 400. But again, I have always liked gold cards. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X gold card. Was at 383. Now last sold 363, 350, 339, 345. And we're jumping to a little bit more older cards here. We got the Pikachu and Zekrom GX Tag Team Rainbow. Was at 218. Now last sold all at $200. And we got the Celebi and Venusaur GX Tag Team Promo. I still feel like this is one of the most underrated cards in Pokemon. This was at $75. Now last sold 54, 55, 48. And we got another Tag Team Promo, Pikachu and Zekrom. Was at $199. We got to sell now at 141, 156, 145, 125. And the Reshiram and Charizard GX Tag Team Promo was at $177. Now we got to sell at 94. That's crazy low. Otherwise, 117, 165, 143, 135, 120. And we're going to end on some megas. We got the Mega Sceptile from Ancient Origins. This was a $29 card. Now last sold 18, 21, 17. And we got the Mega Mewtwo EX from XY Breakthrough. This was at $44. Now last sold 32, 33, and 30. And the Mega Gyarados from XY Breakpoint. I love this Gyarados. This is at $48. Now last sold 40, 35, 41. And last on the list, we have the Mega Charizard EX Full Art from XY Evolutions. This was at $165, dropped down to $116, and now it's up a little bit. Last sold 115, 112, 128, 121, but much cheaper than it was before. It happens a lot, and just like I said before, you know, when a new gimmick comes out, like they bring Megas back, all the Mega cards go up, but eventually they will retrace and come back down and find their new spot. But all right, that was this week's Pokemon Falling Friday, and I do have to announce that I will be vending tonight in Durant, Oklahoma at the Choctaw Resort and Casino, and tomorrow it's a 2-day show, Friday and Saturday, so definitely swing by if you guys are in the area. It's going to be a blast. You know, we can trade some cards and then go play some blackjack together, so definitely swing by. And then, of course, if you guys like this content and you guys want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership. All that, you guys know what to do. You guys are the best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. If you guys want to watch my last Pokemon Throwback Thursday, where we look at all the Sun and Moon promos, and we check out the best Mimikyu cards in Pokemon history, click this video right here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.